This is George Adderley's house. He lived here more than 100 years ago. And lived off the land. He was part of the construction of the overseas railroad and sold sponges and made charcoal. Sounds like a pretty amazing person. Anyway, I'm going to take you inside real quick. If you want to see it in person, though, you're going to have to come to Marathon. There's a deep, rich history here. He came here from the Bahamas. And the construction of the exterior was made with a special process of heating shelves. Look at how simple. Now, since losing, well, I sold way below market value because I was unable to fix it up because I ran out of money sitting in jail on false charges. I've gone from 0 square footage to the square footage inside of a Honda Pilot to now the square footage of a 36-foot sailboat. So I'm going to be purchasing my mobile music stage, which is going to double as the Drone Star Observatory. My laser pen is being delivered as we speak. I'll have it. My mom is also sending me the Jazz and Originals album that I cut in 2007 so that I can burn copies of it and then sell it out of my van as I travel across the mainland this summer and throughout the Keys right now. 52,000 miles. That's what I put on my Pilot. And I don't want that car to end up not working. So, the second Honda is going to work for me. For many people, Marathon is not on anybody's map to come visit, but I have to tell you, this is the most amazing place in the world. It's halfway between Key Largo and Key West. And you know what else? It has the lowest dose of 5G radiation possible while still having a community. This whole idea of satellites keeping us connected and cameras everywhere keeping us safe and extra light blocking out the stars. You see, what I think all of the smart lights was for was to block out the real stars so that they wouldn't be able to see what you can see right here in all of the keys. Drone stars mimicking the position of real stars. Now, how do I know that they're fake? Well, there's a red dot right below it that you can see with your eye. But if you take a picture, thanks Google and Apple, if you take a picture of it, you can see it clearly at the normal distance. But when you zoom up and increase the pixelation, the red dot disappears. But that's okay. We don't need to argue over the dot. Because clouds are three-dimensional. And the edges of clouds are thinner than the middle. What that means is that the edges of the cloud are like rice paper, which is translucent. The middle of the cloud would be like white cardboard. In other words, when the cloud passes over the drone star, the light dims, just the same way that the light from airplanes dims before it goes under the thicker cloud, which makes the translucent cloud opaque. Now, if you have a light that's close, to your eyes or your location, some of the light comes through. But if you put the paper or the cloud in front of a light source, it's very far away, it becomes opaque. Why is this important? Well, those communication satellites are the ones that are creating our climate change, right? Yeah, there's something wrong with our atmosphere. It has to do with Starlink. We'll see as it gets hotter this summer. I'm sure Elon's very excited to make us agitated and hot and irritated so that we fight. Every place I go, I'm not necessarily eavesdropping because, people are talking. That's what they do down here. It's wonderful. It's the way it used to be. I don't know. Traveling all around the country, people sitting in silence and staring at a cell phone, entire tables out with their friends are individually typing and texting somebody else. They're not being present. You know what I hear people talking about? So-and-so came down with cancer or was diagnosed with cancer. It's the topic of conversation. That's because everybody's starting to get sick. It's so important that you recognize the truth today. We need to bring back the past. And it doesn't mean that we can't have cell phones. There's a lot of part there are many parts of the electromagnetic spectrum that don't penetrate the skin and that don't cause cancer and don't break DNA. We have the whole AM and FM bandwidth. There are solutions. We just need to think outside the box. Continuing on the path that we're on, it's going to be a very sad future for everyone. Believe science, because it's going to save your life.